Okay, I need you to stop what you are doing right now and go look at the cooking oil sitting in your kitchen. Go ahead, I'll wait. Because what I'm about to tell you is something that the food industry has spent decades and millions of dollars making sure that you never find out. And once you know this, you are never going to look at that bottle the same way again. For years, and I mean decades, we were told that vegetable oils were the healthy choice. Heart healthy, doctor approved, better than butter, better than lard, better than everything our grandparents cooked with. And we believed it. Of course, we believed it. It was coming from doctors, from the government, and from every health organization that was supposed to be looking out for us. But here's the thing that nobody told you. The research that started this whole vegetable oil revolution, it was deeply flawed. Some of it was funded directly by the sugar and food industries. And the scientists who tries to sound the alarm, who had data showing these oils were causing harm, and they were ignored, discredited, and pushed out of the conversation entirely. Meanwhile, vegetable oils quietly made their way into absolutely everything. Your salad dressing, your bread, your crackers, your restaurant food, your so-called healthy snacks. I mean everything. And the chronic disease rates caused by this, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, inflammatory conditions, they went up right alongside the vegetable oil consumption. Not down, but up. So today, we are going to talk about what these oils are actually doing inside our bodies, why the people who were supposed to protect you look the other way, and what you can do starting today to protect yourself and your family. Stay with me until the end, please, because this is one of the most important things you have probably ever heard. But first, let me clarify what we are actually talking about, because vegetable oil sounds harmless. It has the word vegetable in it, for goodness sake. How bad could it be? The oils I'm talking about are soybean oil, canola oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, and cottonseed oil. These are what the food industry calls vegetable oils, and they're in almost everything processed that you buy at the grocery store. Here's something that blew my mind when I first learned about it. These oils do not come from pressing a vegetable the way olive oil comes from pressing an olive. These oils have to be chemically extracted using industrial solvents like hexane, which is a component of gasoline, by the way. Then it's bleached and then it's deodorized because the natural smell after its process is so rancid that no one would buy it. Then synthetic vitamins are added back in because the processing destroys the natural vitamins. That is not food. That is a chemical product that has been engineered to look and taste like food. And most people have been cooking with it every single day, thinking it was healthy. Now, here's where the real damage happens. And I want you to really pay attention to this part. These vegetable oils are extremely high in something called omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6 is not evil on its own. Your body actually needs some of it. The problem is the ratio between omega-6 and omega-3 in your diet. That's the problem. For most of human history, people ate a ratio of roughly 1-to-1 or maybe 4-to-1 omega-6 to omega-3. Our bodies evolved around that balance. Our inflammation response, our immune system, and our brain chemistry, all of it developed around that same ratio. The modern Western diet sits somewhere between 20-to-1 and in some cases 40-to-1 of omega-6 to omega-3. Let that sink in. What that means is that we are eating up to 40 times more omega-6 than omega-3. And that imbalance, that massive unprecedented imbalance, is one of the most significant drivers of chronic inflammation in the human body today. When omega-6 is this dominant, your body produces inflammatory compounds almost constantly. Your immune system stays in a state of low-level alert, and that chronic low-grade inflammation is now linked to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, autoimmune conditions, depression, and so much more. This is not a fringe theory. This is showing up in the peer-reviewed literature over and over again. And yet the vegetable oils are still sitting on the grocery shelves, still being recommended, still being used to cook your food inside every restaurant that you walk into. Now, here's where this gets really uncomfortable. In the 1960s, a researcher named Ansel Keys published what became known as the 7 countries study. This study claimed to show a direct link between saturated fat, the kind found in butter, lard, and animal products, and heart disease. It became the foundation for decades of dietary guidelines, pushing people toward vegetable oils and away from the traditional fats. But here's what most people never found out. Keys actually had data from 22 countries. He chose 7 of them to do his study. The countries whose data did not support his theory were left out entirely. When researchers went back and included all 22 countries, the correlation he claimed to have found essentially disappeared. And who was funding a lot of the nutrition research during this era, pushing vegetable oils and vilifying saturated fat? The sugar industry and the vegetable oil industry. Documents uncovered by researchers at the University of California in San Francisco showed that the sugar industry literally paid scientists in the 1960s to shift the blame for heart disease away from sugar and onto fat. This is documented, guys. This is real. But of course, they don't want you to know about this. The result was that an entire generation of health policy was built on compromised science and lies. And the food industry profited enormously while people got sicker and sicker. I want you to really sit with that for a moment, because this is not a conspiracy theory. This is documented history. You can do your own research on this. Beyond the omega-6 imbalance, there's another problem with these oils that almost nobody talks about, and it is happening every single time that you cook with them. Vegetable oils are extremely unstable at high temperatures. When you heat them, and especially when you heat them repeatedly, the way that the restaurants do, they oxidize. They break down into toxic compounds, including something called aldehydes. Aldehydes are genuinely dangerous. Research has linked aldehyde exposure to DNA damage, inflammation, and increased cancer risk. When you fry food in vegetable oil or even just saute something at high heat, you are generating these compounds and then you're eating them. A BBC documentary actually tested this and found that vegetable oils heated to cooking temperatures produce aldehydes at levels far exceeding what the World Health Organization considers safe guidelines for drinking water. Instead, you should consider coconut oil, lard, butter, or olive oil used at lower temperatures. These traditional fats are far more stable under heat than vegetable oils. They do not break down into these toxic compounds the same way that vegetable oil does. And yet, we were told for decades to throw them out and replace them with vegetable oils. I hope you're getting something out of this, but I'm not done yet. And I hope this is resonating with you. Share it with your loved ones and listen to this video over again, because this will save your lives. I'm coming with the rest. We're going to wrap this up. Okay. Now, before I get into exactly what you should be replacing these oils with and how to detox your kitchen starting today, I want to make sure that you have the resource that is going to support everything that we talked about today. My comprehensive guide titled Healing Over 40 Using Natural Remedies is your complete companion to taking back control of your health naturally. All 36 chapters go deep into the remedies, the herbs, and the lifestyle shifts that actually make a difference. The same wisdom that our forefathers relied on to stay healthy long before any of these industrial oils ever existed. Grab your copy from the link in the description below. You will be glad that you did, and you're going to need it for sure. Now back to the video. Okay, so I'm not going to just leave you in the cold like that with just the problem. So we're going to actually talk about what to do about it, because this is fixable and it starts in your own kitchen. Step 1, read every label. Vegetable oils hide under many names, such as soybean oil, canola oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, sunflower oil, cottonseed oil, or partially hydrogenated anything. If you see any of these in the ingredients list, put it back on this grocery shelf. Step number 2, replace your cooking oils at home. For high heat cooking, use coconut oil, grass-fed butter, ghee, or even lard from a quality source. These are stable at high temperatures, and your great-grandparents cooked with them without chronic disease rates that we have in this in this world today. For lower heat and dressings, use extra virgin olive oil. This is your anti-inflammatory gold standard. Step number 3, be very careful when you're eating out. Virtually every restaurant, including the ones that seem healthy, is cooking with soybean or canola oil because it's cheap. You cannot always control this, but you can limit how often you are eating out, and you can ask questions. Step number 4, replace your processed snacks with whole food alternatives. Most packaged crackers, chips, cookies, granola bars, and even so-called health foods are made with these oils. When you switch to whole foods, you dramatically cut your exposure. Number 5, increase your omega-3 intake to start rebalancing that omega-6 and omega-3 ratio. Fatty fish, walnuts, flaxseed, pumpkin seeds, beans, and chia seeds, or buy a high-quality fish oil supplement. Bringing omega-3 up while bringing omega-6 down is one of the most impactful things that you can do for systemic inflammation. Here's what I need you to walk away with today. You're not making bad choices. You're making the choices that the system told you were the good ones. And that system was influenced by people who profited from keeping you in the dark. It's all about making money for them, but at the expense of your health. It's time to change all of that with the information you just received today. Yes, now you know, and knowing is where change begins. Go check that oil in your kitchen. Read that label and start making the swap. Your body has an incredible ability to heal when you stop bombarding it with things it was never designed to handle. Share this video, as I suggested before, with someone that you love, because this is information that affects every single family. And grab your copy of Healing Over 40 Using Natural Remedies from the link in the description. It is your roadmap to natural health that goes deep on everything that we touched on today and so much more. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell, because what is coming up next in this series, because this is a series, is going to keep surprising and shocking you. I will see you in the next video, and please take care of yourself and your health. Thanks for watching.